Hello, welcome to the virtual tour of my virtual showcase that encompasses all of my art pieces. This was a project that I did in my virtual reality class. The task was to create a VR project using basic VR functionalities. So, in the midst of COVID, turning everything virtual and eliminating face-to-face gatherings, I decided to turn my portfolio of work into a virtual reality showcase gallery. So it kind of acts as a virtual portfolio. So to begin here, on the walls we have some pictures of my work. So this one is a series of 3 packaging that is mutant hard seltzer. So it's alcoholic drinks, Halloween themed. So Ghoulberry, Zomberry, and Slimy Green Apple. Next we have an editorial piece that I created that went along with an article that was all about Halloween and how this father likes to terrify children on Halloween. Next we have a branding project, which was to create a company and design logo and branding for them. So this company is called Foreign Fruits, and this is the logo I created for them. And they're the business cards. And then finally we have a corporate report. This was taking boring information given to us and using our design skills to create a pleasing report from that work. Next up we have a little welcome sign to welcome everybody to my showcase. And then along with a concession stand filled with various food and drinks. Here's some light crisps. Everything here is interactable. You can pick everything up. Everything has physics to it. So this is my seltzers brought to life. The process of being able to make everything functional and to grab stuff was a tedious process, but turned out well in the end. Zomberry and Slimy Green Apple. And then we have some donuts over here that I created in Blender. Blender was a crucial part in the research phase, deciding which programs that I would use to create this project. So if we follow the arrows over here, we're going to enter the showcase that encompasses all of my print work that excludes the motion pieces, which will be found in the movie theater section right after this. So the first project we have is a typographical project, which was to take a pre-existing article in text and to create a magazine design for that text. So I chose an article that focused on fear, what it does and how it affects you. So here is the cover I made for it, along with the article. Once again, everything is interactable. So here is a physical model of the magazine. Here's the cover. Next we have the corporate report, the more fleshed out version, featuring all the pages. So once again, this was a project to take boring information given to us with all the text and the pictures and the type. This was given to us. Our goal was to create what you see, the blue, the white, the color scheme, create designs, and how it looks as a finished product. This was a fun project because it was challenging because you had to pick certain typefaces that fit between the headings, the copy. We had to create the charts, and it was a challenging project because of all the typographical possibilities that could be used, and we had to make sure that they worked together. Alright, next up we have my Foreign Fruits project. So here is another example of the business cards for them. and the other branding materials, which is the envelope and the letterheads. And for this logo, I wanted to make sure that I encompassed the dragon fruit as the main foreign fruit, and to take the main aspects of the dragon fruit, which is that pink color and the spikes, and to create a simplistic logo that got the point across. Next we have sculpture-sized versions of the hard seltzers, the series of 3 packaging project. Since VR, you're able to do pretty much anything you want. I thought it would be a cool idea to enlarge these and have them showcased as sculptures, because I think they look great, and they look great especially giant. And because they are mutants, I think the theme fits well, that they're large in size. And then behind them you can see some posters behind. And then they're along with their regular size. Zomberry. And Slimy Green Apple. And you can even go behind to see the 360 view of the designs. So that is the seltzers. Next up we have the editorial piece that I mentioned earlier. Here is a closer up of the design that went with the article. So to reiterate, the article was about this father who really wants to terrify children on Halloween, but is foiled year after year. And since COVID happened this year, he was foiled once again. So I kind of flipped around the design and designed his goal that he always wanted to accomplish, which was to scare kids. So my design features the kids from past Halloweens, their souls encompassed in a soul ball, which and the skeleton hand kind of references the man's hand holding the scared children, and with masks because of the COVID situation. So that is the editorial piece. And then lastly, we have a little exercise that I created in Blender that we saw out there on the concession stand. This is just a donut I created to learn the basics of Blender. It was a crucial part in the research phase because I thought I was going to be using Blender for all of these assets because the rendering is really nice on them. But after playing around with Unity for a while, which this is where we are in Unity. This is what makes the VR possible. All the functionalities and assets in Unity much more streamlined and easier to use than Blender, so I thought it'd be best to stick to Unity for all of these assets, except for the donut. So that concludes the print projects that I did. So now we will move on to the motion pieces, which I like to call the movie theater section. So you'll see on the walls here a lot of posters that give and advertise the little feature film that you're going to see, that you can see in most movie theaters. So we'll start over here in the end. This is a stop motion piece that I created. It is all about Odin, how he lost his eye and how he became all wise. So if we hop in here, just starting, perfect timing, so we can see what this is all about. This was a very fun project to do because it is stop motion. It was very tedious and a lot of work went into this. After doing this project, I have all the respect for stop motion artists. It's a lot of work that pays off in the end because the finished product does look cool. Taking still pictures one after the other, one after the other. This is when Odin finds the cave. So this is when he will give up his eye in exchange for knowledge. And that's the end. The next project is Logo Indents. This is to create a short little intro to YouTube channels mainly, but I also threw in my own branding logo, Foreign Fruits. There's a New Rockstars YouTube channel that I used, and the Corridor Crew, which is another YouTube channel. New Rockstars is a YouTube channel that discusses movie trailers, movie news, everything comics. Foreign Fruits is based on the company I made that sells exotic foreign fruits. And the Corridor Crew is a YouTube channel, a bunch of guys that love movies and CGI, so they do a lot of reacting to good and bad CGI. So if we go in here, we can see the logo indents. So this is the Corridor Crew. This is New Rockstars. And the Foreign Fruits. Next up, we have the title sequence project that I did. This was to create a title sequence for a movie that currently doesn't have a title sequence or doesn't have a particularly good title sequence. So I chose The Shining, which happens to have a title sequence, but it's pretty boring, pretty bland. So I decided to give it the one that it deserves. Through this video, you'll see lots of references to the carpet, as you can see. A lot of blood to reference the elevator scene that all the blood rushes out of, and the maze, which is in the beginning of the video, which you'll see here in just a moment. You can actually take a seat here. So I thought it was important to incorporate the maze with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall, as the maze played an important role in the movie, and Jack Nicholson's character had a big role in the maze. So I thought all these callbacks and references was the perfect idea to include in a title sequence. All these blood designs rushing down, showing the names, is all referencing to the elevator scene, which I really wanted to incorporate in this, and I'm happy that it turned out the way it did. And that's the end of this video. Excuse me. And then on to the last video project, which was all about sustainability. So for this project was to design motion objects to the given audio we were given. So the audio was about sustainability and how we need to really focus on trying to save the Earth, because if we keep going the route we're going, our future will be bleak. Oh, we just started. It's perfect timing. Sit down. So for the design process for this project, I wanted to make it give that family-friendly vibe and to attract children. So the simplistic and fun textured background that features little like polka dots in the background. I thought that was a good texture to use to reach out to children, especially because it is really their job to learn this information to teach their future generations as well. And each of these videos you can find on my website and on YouTube with the sound included in them. For some reason, Unity with their sound is a little off, so the audio had to be muted, but you can find all of these videos and all of my projects on my website with full audio, so you can get the full idea of what the project was about. And that's this project. So this will bring us to the end of the tour. This was all my projects included. This is an ever never-ending project, as it'll continue to grow, expand to include more projects that I create in the future. And I look forward to returning to this project to keep expanding, and to include more VR functionalities and more little designs throughout, because it is amazing what VR can do. And I hope this inspires people to jump in the world and to explore what VR has to offer, because it is amazing, all the endless possibilities and what it can actually do. Um, so, this is my showcase. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the future when this gets expanded with more projects. Thank you.